No wonder I can't keep a fucking sight picture. Alright, so in light of recent issues, I mean, I would aim, but I'm basically just going to burn this fucking ammo as fast as I can. Okay. So, what was supposed to happen? Groupings at 500 rounds, 1,000 rounds. Then for a second range session, another 15 round grouping at 1,000 rounds. Then a 1,500 round grouping. Full mag drops 5x for each of the 20 round. At the 500 round mark. When I say a full mag drop, I mean load the mag to 20 or 21 rounds, or load it fully, then drop it on concrete. Straight down, obviously, not on the feed lips or anything. Then pistol drops at, or minimum 2 pistol drops at 750 rounds and 1,250 rounds. All right, drop test number 2 on safe. It's one side, two side. Get back in there. Three. That's why it's unsafe. And there's no round in the chamber. And I'm fucking killing my phone battery. So I better hurry. Right. What did happen? Well, there was a minor magazine breakage. A piece of plastic from one of the followers on this particular magazine, which I marked because if there was anything else that was going to happen to it, I needed to make sure it was going to be, or if there were any reliability issues, I wanted to make sure it was going to be that related to that mag. Probably helped with lining up the spring and keeping it from tilting. Probably. Did not notice any other issues with that in particular. The rear sight came loose, affecting accuracy. One screw seemed to impinge on the extractor assembly. One failure to extract at approximately 850 rounds happened, I believe, because of that. There were also 3 light primer strikes between the 850 round mark and the stopping point at. Let me check my notes here. 1217. Uh, uh, fuck. So, I've kind of got a feeling that the loose screws were causing that, because I did see shiny chunks of metal on the tip of the firing pin. Uh, Also, one of the light primer strikes had a kind of a goopy glob of silvery metal slash crud on it from the just from carbon and CLP buildup. So I thought that was kind of weird. Didn't think anything of that until I saw the shinies on the firing pin. However, I didn't see anything that looked like appreciable damage to any of the components. One thing that I would like to do though, because I put this back together, but I didn't put new Loctite on that because I didn't have any new Loctite, and uh, given the timing, I knew I was going to have to. Uh, I knew I was going to have to come home, clean it, troubleshoot, and put everything back together, and then write this down and film it as fast as possible. So I did not have time to get that. So eventually, though, one of the two screws holding the rear sight in place worked its way out, and the sight started rotating freely. It completely worked its way out of the gun, and I was lucky to find it at my feet at the station that I was shooting at, which, in hindsight, that was a terrible idea. That plunger is the only thing keeping my sight from flying the fuck off in my face, because that could have actually damaged stuff on the inside of that firearm while it was moving, or got chewed up, or worse, got in my eye. As far as I could tell, none of that happened though, so not as bad as it could have been. Uh, but I did have to end the range session at 12, or at about 1,200 rounds. So sustains. Chow was delicious. Also, uh, technically the mags passed the drop test. So, all right, got 150 rounds left, so we are just at 1,000. The thing that I was concerned about, or most concerned about with the drop test, because I've had a Turkish CZ clone just shatter in the middle of a competition, because the base plate, or the plastic on the base plate right around here, was so thin and so brittle, like even brand new or less than 2 years old. It was so thin and brittle that hitting the concrete after a specific event that required me to reload a partial mag, it hit the concrete, and then the springs, or a spring and bottom, went one way, and the top of the mag went the other way, and the bullets kind of sort of just stayed in place or rolled around a little bit. So yeah, having these drop on hard concrete from a normal height and just not break, it's actually pretty good. Also, yeah, that went about 500 rounds after the drop test. It was fine, especially on the last iteration of firing, where I was making sure to actually drop every empty mag on the concrete every time I reloaded them, no matter what. Because I kind of realized that I was getting into a habit of pulling the magazine out, setting it down, picking up the next mag, and loading it. So, still passed all those perfectly fine. Improves. So I will need to continue checking the rear sight for any issues and pack appropriate tools, because I didn't have Loctite. Also, I don't know what the torque spec was. I was doing this by feels. So it's probably there's a chance that that could loosen itself back up, and I'm going to have to be prepared for that in the next 2 to 3 thousand rounds of this testing. More on that in the future. Uh, Kind of unrelated to the firearm, getting footage for the second range session was it just sucked. The wind blew the entire SIG case and its contents, along with the targets that I had the case on top of, off of the place that I was keeping it into the actual range, which was really annoying because there were actually people there. Because apparently Missouri wanted to very passive aggressively tell me that it hated me. Because, oh yeah, also camera blew over several times. It blew over. I picked it up. It blew over again. I picked it up a uh, third time, and tried to just run everything downrange as one whole take to see exactly where I'm hitting each target as I shoot, because that was actually really helpful in the second iteration. However, keeping it turned on for that long and running made it overheat, so it auto shut down and lost all the footage. So yeah, not a lot of there probably isn't going to be a lot of extra footage of everything, but I'm gonna at least I got footage of all the drops. Also, turns out the target information or the target videotaping for that second session didn't actually matter, because originally I thought I was just running into serious issues with not being able to aim properly at 25 yards, because my standard expectation for hitting a target is it has to be the size of a normal piece of copy paper that you would print out of a printer. Uh, yeah, it turns out it wasn't me. Or it turns out it wasn't me this time. It actually was the gun. But as far as the drop tests on the firearm go, didn't drop it on concrete. I dropped it on gravel, which is slightly better. Uh, I think I dropped it 6 times in total on camera between uh, the four the 4 times on the first session and either 2 to 4 times on the first session. Uh, there was a one drop, technical drop, that happened off camera before I even started filming, because uh, I wanted to go to or when I went to the range, I wanted to lubricate this thing with an actual mil spec lubricant, like I do to literally everything, and like every firearm that is I have ever touched in the army has been. So uh, I did disassemble this. I got it nice and oily, and then trying to put it on, it slipped out of my hands, and the slide yeeted itself over to one of the wooden posts that was holding up the awning that I was under. There was that one drop. So technically, yes, that first off camera drop was accurate to something that I didn't personally experience, but happened to somebody near me, and was hilarious. All right, so next up, I want to go straight to 2,000 rounds.